Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Lindy and welcome to Serapatame. So today, I am going to dive further into the method that I have made a previous video on about connecting with your heart. I'm going to put a link up in the eye right there so that you can refer to that video, okay? But today we are going to talk about a method that I learned to heal trauma that you may be experiencing in your life today. Very interesting. I just actually found this out by using the method of connecting to your heart and using your heart as a gateway to get answers to your questions. And that is the method I used. Okay? So I would suggest going back and watching that video as well, because that's going to help you further understand what I'm talking about today. But I discovered something very interesting that I think that can really help a lot of people out there to heal their trauma. So I'm going to use the example that I was experiencing. So if you're experiencing something like this and you can't figure out where in your life today, your current life, where it's coming from, this is where this technique really comes in and really can be beneficial to you. So what was happening with me is I had a phobia, okay? So this can apply to a phobia, or you're experiencing anxiety or panic attacks, or physical pain, like any of these type of ailments that you're experiencing physical in your physical body, or like you're experiencing like a phobia where you get very panicky and you feel a lot of anxiety, like having a panic attack. So this was happening to me every time I was a passenger in a car, okay? And it started out in my life that I would just get really nervous if I was the passenger, like up on a windy mountain road or something like this. I would get like suffer from a panic attack. That's what was happening. I was getting a lot of anxiety over being a passenger over up in these windy roads in the mountains, and it would be like so bad. My heart, would start like palpitating and beating really fast, and I would just get these feelings of doom, like something bad was going to happen in the car. And it got so bad that I wouldn't even be able to like look at the road or look at my surroundings. I would just have to like close my eyes and like take some deep breaths, because I would be hyperventilating and things like this. And this actually started to get worse in my life. Okay, so it was getting to the point where it was so bad that it would happen every single time I was a passenger in a car. So it kept getting worse and worse over time. And it's funny because my husband and I would joke around and say, oh my gosh, like I must have died in a car crash or something like this in a past life. And we would joke around about that. But actually, come to find out, that was very true. Like that had some truth to it. But I could never actually really pinpoint where this fear or this phobia was coming from in my current life today. I couldn't figure out, because I've never been in a serious car accident where it's been like really traumatic and I had PTSD from it or something like that. So I couldn't really pinpoint anything in my life that would be causing this. So if you are in a situation like that where you are experiencing physical pain, that you can't explain, that you don't know where it's coming from, and it's reoccurring, and maybe it's getting worse, or you have a phobia, or you get anxiety or panic attacks, something very specific causes you to go in a state of panic, then this technique worked for me. So I really think that it can work for others. So I use this technique that I previously explained of going within, getting in a relaxed state, getting into a meditative state. So of course, putting all my thoughts in the background, putting my ego in the background, and then really focusing on this heart space. And actually what helps focus it too, these are two things that I actually did not list in my last video that really help you get into your heart space, is if you just place your hand on your heart like this, that actually helps bring your energy into your heart. But also too, what can help is envision your thoughts actually being pushed down into your heart. That actually helps as well. So those are a couple tips on how to help you get into that heart space. But then once you're in that heart space, I explained in the previous video that your heart is a gateway to your soul and the Akashic records, okay? So all the spiritual knowledge and basically like everything that's happened in your soul's journey. And you can also access other things that have happened in the universe as well. Not just your soul's journey. You can access other things as well. If you're interested in accessing maybe the history of a certain place, things like that. You can use this method and anyone can do this. I do consider myself an intuitive person. I am pretty intuitive, but anyone can develop this. Like anyone can do this. So yeah, so I decided once my phobia was starting to get so consistent that it was any time I would be in a passenger seat in a car, I would get anxiety and get like all like stressed out for no reason. I decided to go within and connect with my heart and then ask my heart. I asked, where is this anxiety coming from? This when I'm a passenger in a car, like where is this coming from? And then it was so interesting because your heart will truthfully show you. A lot of this process too is just surrendering to the process and trusting the information that comes forward. So not thinking that it's just being made up or it's like a fantasy, but actually trusting the information, because that is the way that your heart is going to communicate with you. Is like you'll probably maybe pick up some visions, or you might even hear sounds. You might even smell things. You might get particular images or things like this. That's really how your soul communicates with you in a meditation. Okay, so yeah, and then immediately after I asked that question, it was so interesting. I was taken to, like, I heard 1950s era music playing. I heard that, and then I was taken to like an old station wagon that looks like it was also from the 1950s, and I was a passenger in a station wagon, and then my clothing was very 1950s. Like I was wearing a poodle skirt and some plain white tennis shoes and like a white headband. It was some time in the 1950s, okay? And I was a passenger. And then I actually figured out what had happened in a past life of mine is that I did not pass away from being in a car accident, but I was in a car accident and I was severely injured. Okay, so I was hospitalized for a long time, and then I was in a wheelchair, so I was paralyzed for the rest of my life. And also, I picked up a physical sensation when I was in this meditation. I picked up a physical sensation in my left leg, and it was like shooting pain that came in through my foot and was radiating all the way up my leg. So I was even picking up physical sensations of this. So I realized that that's where this anxiety was coming from. The reason I couldn't pinpoint it is because it wasn't from this life today that I'm living. It was from a past trauma that my soul had experienced. And for some reason, my soul just hadn't healed from that. And so it was manifesting in this lifetime as anxiety and a phobia of being a passenger in a car. So these things are very real. And so what I did when I figured out what had happened is I hugged my past self. I hugged her, I loved her, and I told her that I was no longer in pain, that I was no longer paralyzed, and everything was okay, and it was okay to let go of this. That is what I said to my past self. And, you know, I just took some time to be with her and to let her know that this is something that I have worked through, this is something she had worked through, and it was okay to move forward. And then, I didn't just come on and make a video right away. I wanted to actually see if this method worked, if it was actually effective. And in fact, after I've rode as a passenger in a car a few times since I did this meditation, I've experienced zero anxiety, zero panic, zero fear of that experience. So it totally healed my soul, and it totally helped my soul to move forward. And so I just thought that this was a very profound, awesome thing that I discovered on my own through connecting through my heart and asking my soul where this came from. And this can work with, I feel, current traumas that have happened in your current life or past life traumas. And if you can't figure out where your anxiety or your fear is coming from, then that is a good indicator that it probably happened in a past life. And you can figure all of that out by connecting with your heart and asking your heart whatever you want to know. But then also, I think an important aspect of this story I just shared with you is to take some time to heal your past self and let your past self know that you have gotten through that and that it's okay to let go of that. I think that's a really important aspect of this. If you want the anxiety, phobia, pain, or whatever it may be to go away. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys, and let me just make sure that I covered everything I wanted to. Yeah, I basically just said this method is especially helpful if you can't pinpoint where the phobia, anxiety, panic, pain, or fear comes from. That's a good indicator that it's from a past life. It was a past life trauma. And of course, you want to ask your heart where it comes from. Tell your past self it's going to be okay, and it's okay to let it go. So that's it. And then If you guys have anything else to share on this topic of healing trauma, if you have found any other methods that have really worked for you, please comment in the comment section below, because I would love to hear other methods as well. But give this a try, guys, if you're experiencing something similar, and let me know if it works too. I'm also interested in hearing about who else has tried this and if it worked for them and how well it worked. So with that, I'll let you guys go, and just be looking for more awesome content like this on my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content that my videos are about. And like this video and share it with anyone you think it would help. Until next time, I bless your journey and have a great day. Bye, guys.